the cold for crumbling and pale.
Into Sheringham. History is made. Manchester United are the champions of Europe again.
Why are you planting?
This week on football.
Hello and welcome to This Is United podcast. I am your host Vince and today I'm joined with Alex.
Hello.
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 Hello. Okay, this week we've got player ratings versus for the Palace game, which wasn't great.
Nope.
We're going to have player of the week. We're going to have villain of the week. And then our weekend treble. We need to get into that.
Yeah. And anyone who is a follower of Goalpost TV and This Week on Football, you may well be pleased if you backed me this week.
Yeah, we'll get into that later, shall we? Start with player ratings.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay, let's start with Onana.
I want to start with Onana in the fact of he's going to be talked about that double save. Second save, brilliant, good reflexes, but that first save for me irritated me. It was a poor save. He pushed it into the area where you're told not to push it as a goalkeeper. I think he should have done much better. He should have pushed it away. But do you let him off because he made the second save? Probably. But that first save, that could have cost us a goal. If that had been nothing against Nketiah, if that had been a solid Ollie Watkins, Haaland, we'd have been 1-0 down in that situation. Big team, we'd have been 1-0 down. So for me, it's a tough one.
What would you give him for overall performance?
I'd probably give him a 6.5 because the second save was solid.
I mean, I'll tell you what, right? This is, I think you messaged me during the game, and I think this is where we'll disagree. I'll give him a solid 9 out of 10.
Really?
Yeah, and look, Onana's had his problems, he's had his issues, and we've been vocal about it. But I think when he does play well, you've got to give him the credit. And I know it's not the best save for the first save, but at the same time, he's made the second save, so it doesn't matter. I thought he was brilliant all game. He made a lot of good decisions in terms of his passing, and he's off the back of 2 clean sheets as well and 2 good performances. So for me, I think Onana deserves some credit, and we've got to give him some credit. We are pretty harsh on some players, and I think Onana's not escaped that. So
yeah,
when he does play well and he does make a super save, then you've got to give him that credit.
But it's a super save he's had to make because
the
he made such a terrible... Yeah, but he's made a
Vince.
terrible save first and foremost. If he didn't make that terrible save, he wouldn't have had to made the super save. It was an easy save to make, and he's pushed it up and outwards instead of pushing it across. That's a basic thing you're taught as a goalkeeper. Basic.
I don't know.
So I just feel like, yeah, okay, we could give him...
I get your point.
And I get it. I should probably give him a better rating. But I think if we're talking in a different game, things can be different. He keeps making these little mistakes. It's continuous with him. But let's hold off on it. You're right. He made a decent second save. So
should we meet in the middle at 8 out of 10?
8 out of 10. 7.5.
Oh, I'll settle for 7.5 out of 10.
7.5.
Who next?
Mazraoui?
Yeah,
he's just solid, isn't he? He's just, regardless of the 15 million, if we'd have spent 50 on him, I think I'd have been happy.
If we'd have spent 80 on him, at this point, I'm happy.
Yeah.
I think he's been that good.
Yeah. He's amazing on the ball. His brain is brilliant. He goes forward constantly. He takes players on. He like I said, I think I said in the last week, he gets back, but he gets back in a correct position where most of our right backs wouldn't bother getting back at all, or they'd be completely out of position. He'll drop in, De Ligt comes out to the right. It's just perfect.
He's such an intelligent footballer.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
And we've now had 2 clean sheets with those 2 at the back, which is nice.
I am a big fan of his, and I think what we're going to see is probably either Luke Shaw doesn't get back into his team or Dalot gets dropped. I cannot see a world where Mazraoui is not a first choice right back.
I agree. But at the same time, how good was Dalot? We'll get on to Dalot, but Dalot was top level.
Mazraoui, I'll give an 8 out of 10.
Yeah, I'm solid with
Yeah,
that.
I don't think he's dropped below a 7 out of 10 this season
No,
since he
he's
signed.
probably been our best
brilliant.
continuous player that's played.
And it's so impressive. We all talk about the pressure that is playing for Man United, and a lot of these players can't cope with it. It's particularly forward players. It's not usually defenders. I know Harry Maguire had a bit of a shaky time, but usually defenders come in, they're all right. I think Mazraoui's come in and just been that level above. He feels like
it's come
okay.
From, a decent club.
We could win the
league
league with
player.
him at right back.
I agree.
And there's not many times when a player comes into Man United and you feel like we could win a league with those players. I think
if
we
they
could
all
win a league
gave the
with
level
him.
of performance he did, would be up there. Yeah, for sure. I agree.
Yeah, solid. What did I say? 8.
8.
Yeah, I'll give him 8 out of 10.
De Ligt, again, didn't put a foot wrong for me.
Solid. 8 out of 10.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's another
player.
one. Oh my word, we've got 2 brilliant players. If they can stay fit all season, that is huge for us.
Massive.
Absolutely massive. We've not had players like this. Can you remember the last time we signed a player like that? Obviously, take Bruno away, but a player that's come in and they've been absolutely solid. Casemiro had one good season. He's been poor for one and a bit now.
Since we've had a defender come in and play really well, we're going back to Vidic.
We feel
and
comfortable,
Evra.
don't you? You don't
and
feel
even
like you
Vidic
can
and
see
Evra
it.
had a terrible start.
Yeah.
Like these guys have come in and had really great starts. So, yeah, it's easy to get ahead of yourself as a United fan at the moment.
But what we've had over the last couple of years, your Lindelofs, your Maguires, it's been tough.
Yeah.
And again, nothing against those. I like Maguire. Lindelof, I've never thought was good enough for United. Cotton will head, can't head a ball, and he's very slow. Doesn't read the game very well, but still a decent level defender.
Nothing against him, though.
No, exactly. Yeah, nothing against him. Sorry,
He's
sorry,
shit.
Victor.
He's wank. I fucking hate him. I'll kill him. Maybe I might kill him. There's nothing against him, though.
But no, I feel comfortable at the back. Like we're not
Yeah.
going to concede a goal. Once give these guys 6 months, I think we'll be decent. Now, we've had a lot of good things to say about Martinez, but God, didn't he piss me off that second half?
4 out of 10.
My word, yeah,
For a defender who's just kept a clean sheet to get 4 out of 10.
it's mental. It almost felt like he was happy with the draw. He was putting his foot on the ball. He was slowing it down. It was like the 89th minute. Get forward. He held it, went backwards.
Whose fault is that?
You're going to say Eric's.
How can it be anything other than a tactical decision when you are... Martinez doesn't slow play down. That's not what he is. He makes progressive passes. He makes forward passes. He was just putting his foot on the ball, holding it. Palace weren't pressing because they were happy with the point. What do you expect?
Do you think that's a Ten Hag thing, or do you think that is a thing where we've lost to Liverpool heavily? We've already been beaten in the last minute by Brighton. Let's not do that again.
It's not good enough for Manchester United.
I agree, but we're just getting started. We should have been 4-0 up in that game. That shouldn't have been the case. So, clean sheet, come away with a point at Palace where we usually struggle. As much as that frustrated me and I thought he was poor, I'm okay with it, providing it doesn't happen for the rest of the season. Let's just get a couple of clean sheets under our belt, get this defence working together as a unit, and then we'll see where we go in the future. So I'll hold off from the Eric Ten Hag blame on that situation. I get where you're coming from, but I do think it's just them bedding in, giving it time. But yeah, you feel like the drive wasn't there, or they're not bothered about winning. But I think it's just a one-off game, away from home at Palace. It is what it is. I think
I've had arguments with United fans all week after the game. People telling me to go and support another club, and I came out and I was pretty angry about that.
Oh, we were mad.
That performance.
I was mad.
And I felt like, I was looking at social media and nobody was really saying anything. The manager came out. I feel like I was being gaslit. Like, oh, yeah, but we didn't lose. Hold on a minute. It's Palace.
Yeah. And they've not had a good start to the season either, have they? They've been poor.
They've not been necessarily that good. They can get... I mean, you can score against them.
However, we lose those games recently, and we lose those games when we go to Palace.
With this manager.
But we haven't lost. So is that a step in the right
That's
direction?
not a win.
We controlled that first 45 minutes. We dominated.
It's not good enough.
4 out of 10. Now we're going to the best player
Liverpool
on the pitch.
don't do it. Tottenham don't do it. Chelsea wouldn't do it.
Yeah, but they're
Arsenal wouldn't do it.
miles ahead of us. They're all miles ahead
why
of
Liverpool miles ahead of us?
Because
It's a manager's first
and
4
don't
games.
forget they've
He's
also-
already ahead of us.
and they've been
What's
embedded for a long time
Like
under
Chelsea,
a very good manager.
Maresca.
You don't know what they're going to do yet.
They'll finish.
Spurs
higher than
won't
us.
be.
I'll put how much money? How much?
Yeah, but
how much
I
you wanna put
don't
on
think
it?
this
I
is.
mean,
I don't.
Whatever's
think,
in my bank account.
Wait. I don't think this is down to a defence issue. This is down to players like Garnacho and Rashford who can't finish their dinner.
No, we'll get on to that.
Garnacho's never going to get there.
Let's
so
do
yeah,
something positive.
Dallo, best
man
player
of the
on the
match.
pitch, man of the
Yeah,
match.
I thought he was
Phenomenal.
brilliant. I love Dallo, and it's come off the back of that Southampton game where he was really bad. But I thought he corrected it, and I thought he was really, really good.
I would love it if he was good enough to stay left back. I'd be more than happy if he can put in performances like that every week. I'd love him as a left back because I'm finished with waiting for Luke Shaw.
Yeah.
Finished with it.
I'm done.
I love Dallo. It was probably player of the season last season for us. So if he can fit in left back and we keep Mazraoui right, I'm happy with that.
So I
would probably say 9 out of 10. I thought he didn't put a foot wrong at all.
Yeah, I'd say 9 out of 10. Kept a clean sheet, and what you'd expect. What I liked about Dallo's performance this week, which is a little bit different. I felt like he's growing into that left back role more. So something I talked about on my podcast this week was that Dallo doesn't trust himself and doesn't have the confidence in the same way as he does on the right hand side. On the left-hand side, because it's a new position for him. So he's not getting as forward. He's not as direct. He doesn't run with the ball. I felt like he was pushing a little bit further forward. He understands the role a little bit more. And what he was doing, which I absolutely love about Dallo, is dropping in to that midfield, taking the ball, taking some responsibility off of Kobbie Mainoo.
which he's always been good at. If
Picking
he
up the ball,
gets a chance.
he's brilliant at it, mate.
But it's frustrating
He's
because
brilliant
we call it the John Stones rule, but the Cancelo rule, really.
Cancelo really,
When he last season he was coming into those positions, turning on the ball, and because he's press resistant, he's really good on the ball, but he doesn't do it enough.
He doesn't do it
that
enough.
could be down to Erik Ten Hag, but for me, I'd have him in there every time.
It's a massive strength of ours that we're missing out on. And again, this is something I talked about on my podcast this week, that we are not focusing on individual players' strengths. We should be focusing on individual players' strengths, like Dalot dropping into midfield. It feels like he's not doing it out of a tactical reason. He does it because he wants to get on the ball. It doesn't feel like he's told and directed to do that. It's almost like an accident.
Yeah.
And it's one of many different things in that team where you should be playing to a player's strength, and Dalot should be doing that more.
We are shit against a high pressing team. We're shit against a low block team. And yet we've got the players to be able to deal with a high pressing team with players like Dalot and Mazraoui, and we can't. That second half with Palace coming on to us.
The second half was appalling. So I mean, Dalot, yes, brilliant, but the second half, in all honesty, was terrible. And I won't stand for it. And I don't think that we should take a 0-0 away at Palace like it's a good result. It's not. Where do we want to finish this season?
You want to be top 4.
If you want to finish 8th again, well, great. That you're on your way to doing that. If we're happy with the 0-0,
losing to Brighton,
losing
battered by Liverpool, drawing with Palace.
You can't
if we
be
go
taking...
and get beat on Sunday now, I'm still confident we're going to beat Spurs. But if we don't, I think his job's in trouble already.
It should be already, and that's nothing on the guy. It should be already.
There's players there now that, we'll get into that. We'll
Eriksen.
Again, another solid
7
performance.
out of 10. It's a killer.
I'm giving him 7.5. I don't think he was worse than Onana.
I hate him. I hate him.
But you don't want to hate
He's really
him.
good. No, I don't want to.
He's
I want
been
to
class.
love this guy.
But he also said at the end of last season, I'm not here to just sit on the bench. And you remember at the end of last season, we were like, well, you're gone then. And he's come back this season, started the game, and boy, does he deserve to be there.
He's looked better this season. He's looked
Looks
more hungry.
fitter.
Yeah, and I think the Euros was a big thing for him. I think he plays in that Denmark side a little bit more further forward, a lot more confidence. He feels like he's the main man. And obviously then coming into this United side, maybe he does feel a little bit more like that, and that's carried over.
I think it's more the fact Man United now control games. When we've got the ball, Eriksen's a good footballer. We know that. We know he's good up top, especially in that cam position. He can thread a pass through the eye of a needle. He's good. But when he was playing last season, we were at possession, constantly running all over the place. You had Casemiro, who couldn't move his legs. You had Eriksen, who, again, couldn't move his legs, trying to cover so much ground in the midfield. He doesn't need to do that at the moment. Because let's take the first 45, for example. We were on the ball the entire time.
Yeah.
I think that's why we're
the only team that plays in that fashion where we are constantly running back towards our goal.
Well, look at when he played for Brentford. He wasn't playing like that, running back towards his goal.
No.
They had possession. They were a good attacking team.
I think last season we got too carried away with trying to score goals that we forgot about defending, and then when we were trying to defend, we forgot about attacking. It's like there was never a balance. Where
that was
this season maybe there is.
And again, excuses down to injuries last season, you can say, but this season for me, there's not an excuse.
There's not an excuse
for not winning these games.
Eriksen, I thought, solid 7 out of 10.
Yeah.
7.5. Okay.
Yeah, me in the middle.
Okay. Who else?
Mainoo. Just
he's having a tough season. Some of the touches were outrageous, though. I don't know if you saw some of the little flicks.
He's unbelievable.
Oh, what a player!
But it's just there was I can't recall the exact chance, but there was a chance where they were running on through on our goal, and he was behind them, and he was trying to keep up. He almost caught the back of him, and I was like, pull him down, and he just slowed down and he went through. I was like, fucking pull him down.
It drove us crazy last season.
Oh, I just don't get it. And he has no legs. We know he's very good on the ball. He's probably one of the best talents at centre mid on the ball that we've seen for a long time. But off the ball, I've said this before this season. I know you're a massive lover of Mainoo. He worries me. Unless we've got, hopefully, Agate is that someone who can clean everything up. He does worry me. You're going to have gaps behind him.
Yeah, but I think with any great midfielder, they've always had a great midfielder next to them. You think of the best midfielders, the Xavis, you got Iniesta, or you got Busquets. You've got Iniesta.
I mean, you're going top level. Let's
talk about the best midfielders and in their primes. If you had Pirlo, you had Gattuso. If you've got Gerrard, you've got Alonso. If you've got Kroos, you've got Modric. They're not on their own. And Kobbie Mainoo shouldn't have to be all of a sudden the only player who has to play by themselves and be the legs, plus on the ball, plus press resistant, plus receive the ball deep and then get forward. He's being tarred with the brush of he's not great without the ball. Well, a lot of these midfielders aren't great without the ball. How many times do you see a Toni Kroos running back towards goal in the same way Modric, same way as Mainoo does?
That's a tough argument because those teams, again, are on the ball. They dominate possession. They dominate teams. They're like, you think of Toni Kroos, you think of Toni Kroos on the ball, not running back and defending for his life like Mainoo's having to do.
Yeah, exactly.
So no, I don't. I agree with you, but I still think there's an element to his game that he's got to learn.
I think it's too easy to pick a fault in.
I'm not picking a fault. I'm not picking a fault. Just from what I've seen,
he's being let down by his coach and his team because he is a player who should be and will be, if he's coached and managed the right way, a world-class midfielder. The reason he isn't at this point is he's young and he's being coached and he's got the wrong players around him.
I don't think he will be a world-class midfielder at Man United.
I don't think anyone's going to be world-class at Man United.
I don't think he will be.
Even
I'd love it if he
who
was.
should be, and
Garnacho
Mainoo should be.
He's so stale for me. But
Mainoo, let's give him a rating. I'll give him a 6 out of 10. Yeah. Some of the touches were outrageous, but overall it's difficult for him. But he's being let down by the players. It's not his fault. I'm convinced of that. Bruno Fernandes.
I think he was the worst player on the pitch.
He was, unfortunately.
Oh my word!
Yeah, I love Bruno Fernandes.
I looked at Flash Scores just to check his rating on there, and they had him at like 7.5.
It's half that.
I watched the second half.
Half that.
And
3.5 out of 10.
Easily. Mm-hmm. In the second half,
shocking.
It was a 10-minute period where he lost the ball 8 times. He didn't make one pass.
I started counting them as well myself.
What the fuck are they getting 7.5 from? Whatever they put him up.
I don't think they watch it. I never take them seriously.
He couldn't make a pass. Like I said to you a couple of weeks ago, the grenade passes all the time. They're getting the ball to him, booting it long. Piss off. And then blame on Eric Ten Hag for not taking him off. If we can see it and we're just shitty fans, what do we know about football? How the fuck can the manager not see it? He's watching it with his own two eyes. He's seeing it right there live, and he's going, "Yeah, I'll probably keep Bruno on. I'll take Ericsson off. He's been a better player."
Mason Mount was fit and was back in the side. I mean, yes, it would have been. He's just back in the side, but why are you putting him on the bench if he's not fit enough to play 20 minutes?
Why wouldn't you put Casemiro on and then move Ericsson further forward?
I think Casemiro can play further forward as well.
Either or, one of them. Because how many balls do we have into those box?
Yeah,
and Delict's got on the end of it. Casemiro's the only other player in our team that can head a ball really well.
Yeah.
So for me, keeping him on there was ludicrous because he was.
If he's having a bad game, he shouldn't be. He's not untouchable.
Not at the moment. He was before. He's not now because he's had a few performances like this where it's getting to the point where you're like, he's costing us possession. And when we made the subs in the second half, we couldn't get hold of the ball. As soon as he did, we lose it. Those are the times you want Mainoo on the ball further forward.
I think what Bruno... Again, is Bruno doesn't become a bad player overnight.
No,
I think he's trying too much because we are struggling. I think he was one of the players that understood that we're not there to draw 0-0. And I think because the system, whatever Ten Hag had set up with that United side in that second half, was not to go and win the game. It felt like we'd win it by chance.
We've got enough quality to win it.
Bruno Fernandes, on the other hand, was stood there going, I'm going to try things. They were wrong. All the things that he was doing wrong, but he was the only player who was going, no, we're Man United, let's go and try and win this game.
No, I agree. I do think, like you said, he's not a bad player overnight. I do think he's out of form. The 2 chances he missed in the first game of the season, prime example, was it Fulham, wasn't it, when he's 1-on-1 with the keeper?
He missed a really good chance against Palace.
So for me, the volley.
I cannot believe this guy's not on 5 goals already this season.
It's typical United, isn't it?
Yeah.
Same problems as last season.
I sent you the stats.
Score. Yeah.
Worst shot conversion in the league this season. Does that surprise anyone after last season? I've said it for 3 seasons now. We are the worst team in the league at shooting. Nobody believes me until we see the stats. I'm telling you now, when I watch United, I watch them I watch everything in detail. I'll rewatch the games. We cannot finish. It's not because the players are bad. Something isn't right. I don't know what it is.
I do think we've got players that don't have composure. Garnacho, Bruno in front of goal, Rashford in front of goal. They don't have composure.
I feel like Rashford's got more composure than you give him credit for.
Rashford's never had composure. Like, he'll whack a ball and go for it and get some banging goals. As a top-level composer who slots away like a hurricane, we're miles away.
If I see him running through on goal, I trust him.
I prefer Jackson. I think Jackson 1-on-1, I'd be more confident with Jackson scoring than any of our front 3 at the moment.
Awful.
Yeah, but he's doing all right. I think he's going to do well this season.
Scored more goals than all of our front 3 combined.
Because he can finish.
Nah, Chelsea are a better team there.
Honestly, you got to think Everton, right? Are not going to get many chances this season. They will bury their chances. They won't miss many chances.
Yeah,
like
this
we
is
will.
the thing in the Premier League. Every Premier League team punishes you except for Manchester United.
Yeah.
We must be the most enjoyable team to play against in the Premier League because you know that you can make a mistake and we're not going to punish you. But if we make a mistake, you can punish us.
However, if we do punish you,
Well, we'll
you're
win
in for a
6-0,
long day.
7-0.
That's the problem. Yeah. So
But
United,
that's
you
not
must
good enough for a whole season. It needs to be consistent. Bruno Fernandes, 3.5 out of 10.
3.5 out of 10. Garnacho, I'm going to give him a 4.
I thought he was really good.
No,
in the first
I'm
half.
sick to death of the chances that he's missing. To
I'll
be
give him
fair, the
6
one
out
where
of
he hit
10.
the bar, he was offside.
He would
He would have been offside. I think he was, yeah. But again, his composure to everything is just poor.
It needs to improve.
But when he comes off the bench, that's where he's strongest. He comes
know.
off the bench, he scores.
He wants to make an
he's
impact.
going to be clinical.
Yeah, it's weird, isn't it?
He's a weird one for me. I don't think he's going to get any better than he is. I really don't.
I think he will.
he's stagnated, and I don't think he'll get any better. I don't care what
I
manager
think he needs a
goes
new
under.
manager.
I don't think it's going to make a
Do you
difference.
think he likes the manager? I can't work this one out because he likes random tweets and Instagram posts that suggest otherwise.
Yeah, but at 20, you were being a bit of a knob. But
Yeah,
your mum,
but-
mum's a knobhead. Oh yeah, like
Does he
this
like-
is going to be
maybe.
So
Maybe.
I don't know. I don't think he hates him because while we're on it, let's talk about it. Why the fuck he started anyway? Can you tell me why he started on Rashford?
Squad rotation.
Now, that is bullshit because Rashford's been our worst player consistently for 12 months. He scores a goal at
Southampton,
goal at Southampton, scored 2 against Barnsley. Why wouldn't you give him a chance? Why would you say he's not put a bad performance in and then you go and drop him?
We know
that.
Rashford is a streaky player, so when he's scoring, do not pull him out of that team.
Oh, I couldn't believe it, mate. I couldn't believe it.
It's
when
just
I saw
poor
that.
man
And
management.
We have been calling for Garnacho to start, mind, but not then. That surely you've got to think in your head.
I would have
Rashford's been
started
bought.
Xerxes.
He started well.
I played Rashford through the middle if needs be. I played Garnacho and I played.
Rashford through the middle. I hate playing Rashford. Through the
Rashford
middle.
hates playing through the middle,
Yeah.
but don't pull him out the side just as he's getting going.
No, he's not going for the middle because he's had 2 good performances on the wing. He's scored 3 goals. He's going back on that wing.
Who you playing
Xerxes
through the middle?
Plays Xerxes through the middle because
Who
I
you
liked
dropping?
him against. Garnacho, I wouldn't have started him. And I played Ahmad on the right,
Okay.
Rashford on the left, as he has been for the last 2 games where he's played well.
Yeah.
And then, do you know what, Rashford, you scored 3 goals. Man management, I'm going to drop you.
Do you know what? Actually, the more I think about it, because I've seen a lot of United fans back in Eric Ten Hag saying that, squad rotation is the reason why Rashford came out. We're the only team that apparently drops players rather than rotating squads. I understand that point of view, but the more I've thought about it, we've got a game against 20 this week. There's your rotation, not against Palace.
On top
we
of
need
that,
those 3 points.
I agree. And he drops players at the wrong time consistently. It's not like this is a one-off because then he throws Rashford on up top on his own last couple of minutes and then goes, it's not working, I'll stick Haaland on. Yeah. He's got no idea. But we'll get to him after. But
Garnacho, I think you've been a bit harsh. I'll give 6
I
out
don't
of
think
10.
so. I think it frustrates me.
He was
now.
our
I'm
most
sick of him
dangerous
not
player.
taking his chances. I'm sick to death of watching him. He's a good player. He's got to be taking those chances. They're not difficult chances.
I get that.
So for me, I'm not having it.
Ahmad, 7 out of 10. Every time I watch Ahmad play, I'm impressed. He looks dangerous. He's brilliant with the ball. Yes, the goals aren't maybe flowing for him, but they will. I think he's brilliant.
We're against a low block team.
He's one of our biggest positives this season.
Yeah, I
I
agree.
love watching him play. I would never
But
put him
I
out that
do
side
worry,
either.
has he actually got the full potential and class to be a Man United right winger?
I think so.
I don't know.
I think so.
I don't know. I love him and I hope he is, but I don't know. I do have questions with it. I do worry a little bit. He can go missing in games, doesn't do much. I know when he gets on the ball, he is quality.
You just got to
I
keep
don't
giving him
know.
the ball.
I don't
This,
know.
again, is another
We
system
don't need
failure.
that. But we need something at the moment that's going to get us goals. He's not going to be that player at
Give
the
him
moment.
the ball. Create space for him and give him the ball and watch him go.
I do like him. So again, I didn't think he had a horrendous performance.
7 out of 10.
No, I'd have gone 6.5, but you love Ahmad, so I'm not going to win that one.
We're
Xerxes.
Xerxes, I thought was decent. 7 out of 10. Yeah, I think he's the most impressive thing that I'm a little bit surprised by. He's brilliant on the ball, holds the ball up well,
Does really well.
but uses it really well. He's a classy player.
He just can't score.
Yeah,
But
we just
for
need
me,
the goals.
I've said it all season. I don't know where he plays. He's 10. He's not a number 9.
I can solve every single one of these players' issues, and it's change the manager. Every single one of them is not playing to their full potential, to their strongest, best ability, because the system doesn't suit them. It's as simple as that. And we can sit here and criticise players all we want and say, well, there's a fault here, there's a fault there. You put them in any other side, they're absolutely fine. Xerxes doesn't go from scoring 20 goals at Bologna last season in Serie A, where it's notoriously hard to score goals, in a team that's not necessarily one of the best teams in the league, to struggling in front of goal. There is a knack to scoring goals. The way he scores goals is arriving late. We don't play that sort of football. So we're not playing to his strengths. We don't cross the ball. Again, we are a system that fails and fails players.
We are a team of individuals.
We're a shit team
Oh,
with great individuals.
I hate this. It's just frustrating, isn't it? Because we'll go to Spurs on the weekend. We'll get 3 points, and we'll be excited again, and then we'll go and be shit again. It's a 0-0 draw, but the problem is it was just that second half performance, wasn't it? It was just a kick in the teeth. If you come out the second half, we thought we were going to dominate these. We're going to batter them.
Mate. People are coming away from that performance buzzing about the performance. It's the best that we've looked all season. I'm sorry.
For 45 minutes?
At what point are we going to have some standards at Man United? Yeah. And do you know what? I posted a video saying, at what point is... And I got laughed at. People were laughing at me. I said, at what point are Man United going to try and win the league? Why is that funny? Why is that funny, mate? That's not funny. United should be trying to win the league. You're laughing. Why are people laughing when I say Man United should be trying to win the league? Nobody laughs at Liverpool when they change their manager. Nobody would laugh at Chelsea saying, oh, let's have a go for the title. But United, we're a laughing stock. Do you know why?
Because we're the biggest club in the world.
We've got a fucking shit manager, mate. That's what it is.
How can we have the second shittest Dutch manager in the world?
The first.
I said second.
De Boer.
Yeah, that was wrong terminology. How can we have 2 managers in the Premier League that are Dutch and we've got the shit one? Both fucking bold. Both played Dutch football, and they just it's United all over, isn't it? They just can't do their research. Clearly, it's fun. I'm just bored of it. I'm bored of the players. Like it's just we've changed hundreds of managers. We don't get anywhere. I'm not saying I want Ten Hag in or Ten Hag out, but I'm just getting pissed off with his decisions. The drop in the Rashford doesn't make sense when he's on form. The changes in the second half didn't make sense. We were dominating possession. It's just that they're not taking Bruno off and taking Eriksen off, who was probably one of our better performers. I just don't know what he watches, and I'm just sick to death of coming away from United and being pissed off for 2 days because our manager can't get simple things right. Get the basics right, the results will come. He doesn't. That for me, like I said, the drop in the Rashford is just, it doesn't make sense.
There'll be a lot of people who say, "What do you know? You know nothing. You've never managed. You don't know." Well, I'm sorry, the proof's in the pudding. Does Erik Ten Hag know? Because we're finishing 8th with that squad. That's not good enough. So clearly he doesn't know. So maybe he is wrong.
That's what I mean. He doesn't know.
There's too much of this fan base, particularly on online presence, that will back a manager to the point where they're so obsessed with keeping the manager, they don't care about the results. But at what point are you going to start caring about the results? It's not good enough.
It's not good enough. But who do we go out and get? We get rid of Erik Ten Hag this week. We go to Spurs, we get beat 3-0.
Get anyone.
No, it's not a case of getting anyone. Because we've done that before.
Name a manager in the Premier League. Go on. Name one.
What, who I'd want?
Yeah, no, just name one. And name any manager in the Premier League right now.
But why?
Just name one.
Arnie Slot.
I'll take him. Name another one.
Ole Gunnar Solskjaer.
I'll take him. Name another one. Keep naming managers, because I will take all of them over this manager.
Okay.
You get the point. There's no...
It'll be Thomas Tuchel. That's what they'll go out for.
There's no progression.
Me off.
I watched this Aston Villa side, and I'm looking at Unai Emery, and I'm thinking, where were we when Aston Villa were getting him?
Yeah, but at the same time, you watch him at Arsenal, you wouldn't have wanted that Unai Emery, would you?
No, but there was obviously something there from what he'd done at Sevilla.
He's a class manager just below the top level, 100%.
I think he's the second or third best manager in the league.
Yeah, but our league's fucking weird. Other than Man City, it doesn't matter.
Arteta and him are the two managers that I think would transform Man United in a season.
I'd have Arteta in a heartbeat. If we was right.
I would have... Why wouldn't you?
Can we just address something while we're on this? Why Arsenal fans are giving it such big un? Like they're a bigger club, we're better. You've won nothing in like 3 or 4 years. Won one FA Cup. We've won more trophies than they have, and they're getting, we finished second by 1 point trophy. And they're running with it.
I know.
Are they deluded?
Yes, but...
Pisses me off. And I love watching Arsenal.
Let me push back. As a Man United fan, let me push back in Arsenal's defence. What Arteta has done since coming in, transforming that team that was constantly underperforming or never really hitting the heights. What he's done is created a team that can compete with Man City. That's no joke. To compete with Man City and push them all the way to the end of the season, last game of the season, that's no joke. To see what they did away at the Emirates, yes, they got a point, but... at home at the Emirates, to beat City last season, and
this-
then
Etihad
this time
week,
at
yeah.
the Etihad,
That was mental.
to go there and nearly win
And
with 10
defend.
men.
Yeah, that was phenomenal.
That is a top draw manager.
But Liverpool have done that, and they've won trophies. So we're winning trophies, and we're 8th best team in the league. So when does it get to a point where you go, oh, enough's enough? You've done really, really well. You're competing with City, but now you need to go and win a trophy.
This season.
Does it? Because
This season.
to be fair, like giving them a bit of abuse, that performance, that second half performance, I said to you guys in the group, there's not one team in the Premier League that could have defended for 45 minutes against Man City.
Yeah.
They're the best unit defending team in the Premier League for me.
Yeah.
They're phenomenal. That back four are beautiful.
And you've got to give that. You've got to give that to Arteta. You've got to.
But if they don't win something this season, do they get on his back?
Yeah,
Are Arsenal fans going to start demanding, because them and West Ham are probably the two most demanding fan bases on the planet.
If they push City all the way again and don't win it, then unless they get to at least a final, I think there will be a little bit of pressure. Well, there will be a lot of pressure on Mikel Arteta.
He needs a number 9 in January, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Go get a number 9.
Yeah. What are we doing next?
Well, we've pretty much covered Player of the Week.
Everything.
We've pretty much covered Villain of the Week. We know who that is.
Villain of the Week is Dean Henderson for turning up and playing the best game of football he's ever played against Man United.
I don't think I've ever wanted a keeper less in my life when he played for us. He plants his feet, he doesn't move, he shouldn't save saves that he should make, and he was god awful. I was talking to Mary about it, my other half, and she was sat there going, I like Dean Henderson at United. Shut your mouth, you shit. And then bang, he puts on a performance like that. And what's worse, do you know what makes it even worse? I've got my dream team, and I've got Flecken, and I've got Henderson. And guess who I put in goal this week?
Yeah. Against Tottenham. You deserve that.
And guess how many points Henderson got?
9.
Yeah. Get fucked, Henderson.
I've been rolling with Robert Sanchez the last couple of weeks. 24
He's done
points,
well.
I think. Yeah.
He's done well.
I'm buzzing with that. Your villain of the week is Bruno. My villain of the week is Dean Henderson because, of those reasons.
Perfect. Should we go into our treble?
Yes.
Weekend treble?
Guys, if you listen to This Week on Football, which is my podcast, you may be followers of the Weekend Treble. Basically, I pick 3 selections. I'm trying to make you profit. Not all of them are going to win, but if you back it with a tenner every single week, by the end of the season, you will be in profit. Based off last season, we were in profit. Based off this season, we are now in profit by £99. So that means I have won 5 weeks out of 6 so far. Come on, that's
solid.
That's all right.
You say we, I'll take part of that victory.
Look, I found it the hardest to pick last week. I really, really struggled. And last week, on last week's episode, you said I was ridiculous for picking Wickham, and Wickham came through. United will draw. They got that draw against Palace, and Bayern to score twice, which I think they scored 5 or 6 in that game. So I was really happy with that selection because I really struggled with it. This week, I've struggled again.
I've done all right this week.
Okay, who are your selections?
I'll go over mine from last week because I was a bit unlucky.
Okay.
I had Wrexham to beat Crawley. Obviously, Wrexham came in and beat Crawley. I had Genoa or draw. That was unlucky. So I watched the second half. I missed the first half, and they were garbage. And I was like, "What? This isn't Genoa I've seen this season. They're really good." And they were poor. And I ended up losing 2-0. I was like, "Brilliant!" Lost my first weekend treble. Didn't realise lad broke his ankle in the first half. That's going to send the team insane. So we had a bit of bad luck there. Also had Parma to score over 0.5 goals. They drew 2-2, so that came in.
Goals,
so one leg let me down last week.
So to get 2 out of 3, I am taking account of how many I get correct each week. So at the end of the season, I will see whether it would be better to back each individual with an amount or back them as trebles. So far, obviously, trebles are well in front, but 2 out of 3 isn't the worst start for you.
Okay.
Just so everyone knows, there is a forfeit. And that forfeit for whoever has made the least amount of profit at the end of the season has to stand outside of Old Trafford on our last home game of the season. As a treat from the loser, you have to take the winner up to Old Trafford and stand outside the players' entrance and try and get as many selfies as you can with the players. I really do not want to lose that. You are £19 down so far, so you've got a long way to come back.
So this week, I have gone Crystal Palace or draw.
Who are Palace playing?
Everton away.
Whoa.
Tough one.
Tell you what.
You can see a 0-0 there. All over it.
Whoa, okay.
Tough one, yeah.
Wow.
What do you think the odds were?
1.5.
1.4.
Wow.
I have gone West Brom or draw away at Sheffield Wednesday. Sheffield Wednesday.
Yeah, I like West Brom.
Sheffield, looks like
Josh Madge is flying
at the top. Yeah,
yeah.
Their away form last season, West Brom was god awful, but this season they look a lot stronger. So it was tough.
They'll get promoted this season.
And I've gone PSV to beat William and over 1.5 goals.
Willem 2.
Willem. There we go.
Willem.
Yeah, so that's £10 on, £24.27 back.
Conservative, but
yeah, I went easy just to scrape through. Double chances are so much easier at the moment just to get that first one on the board.
They are, and I that's where you've got to go. You need to get some points on the board. You need to get some money on the board because if I keep this run going, I mean,
we're done after.
I don't think I honestly don't feel like I'm going to lose. I keep winning.
I can get you beat. So hopefully, if I have the same leg as you do, get beat. Right,
so my weekend travel, I've gone with Man City away at Newcastle to score over 1.5 goals.
Oh, without Rodri.
I've gone Liverpool away at Wolves to score over 1.5 goals.
So them to score, so Liverpool to score 1.5 goals. Don't worry about the match. Liverpool to score 1.5.
That's it.
Oh.
And my final selection is Barcelona to score over 1.5 goals away at Osasuna.
That should come in. That's probably the bank of that one.
I
stay away from the Spanish league. It makes
me uncomfortable.
The exact
returns. Let me have a look.
The Spanish league makes me uncomfortable because you can see a 0-0 in that so often. It just makes me uncomfortable betting on the Spanish league.
It is uncomfortable, but and the reason why I went with Barcelona is they look so impressive.
They do.
£10 on, by the way. This week returns £27.12, which is £3 more than yours. So if yours comes in and mine comes in, I still take a £3 lead as well. So you've got to take that into account. Obviously, we're going to range between those, but you don't want too high odds. We don't want to put you off and start losing every week.
Yeah.
So yeah, Barcelona I really like. I think they're absolutely phenomenal.
I think I should bank a better than 3, the Barcelona one.
Yeah, I think City
are poor.
I don't fancy Newcastle. I think Newcastle have been a team that
miles off it.
Yeah, they've got results, but I don't know how. So I think City can score against them.
Yeah, I agree.
And I think Liverpool score plenty against Wolves. I do think they'll go and win either 2-1 or 3-1 away at Wolves. So
especially after what happened with them at Villa.
Yeah, I think it'll be a pretty straightforward. When you say Barcelona, actually the bankers Osasuna have started really well, but I think Barcelona are just that strong.
Osasuna have just come up, right?
Osasuna might be 4th this season, 5th.
Did they come up last season?
No,
they've been in the league.
Yeah.
To be honest, I'm miles off for the Spanish league.
Osasuna look like a strong side, but I just think that Barca side is so strong this season. Rafinha is flying. Lewandowski's flying. Lamine Yamal, I don't know if you saw that assist.
Oh, my word. Yeah.
Oh, my God.
He's a player, isn't he, at his age?
He's 17, mate.
Is he the best player in the world?
He's 17.
Is he the best player in the world?
He will be.
I think he might be.
He will be. He's an unbelievable talent. But yeah, that Barca side, I just think they're incredible. So yeah, interested to see who wins this week and how many results or correct predictions you get. I think last week to come away with 2, I think you've done well. Even though you did lose that treble, I think you've done well. And what I would say, if you are willing to back these selections with a tenner, back me. I've got a track record. Look at it. I'm £99 up, mate. £99 up for the season.
Grand down for the week, though, aren't you?
5 results. 5 correct.
Solid.
Trebles out of 6 so far.
We'll catch him. We're going conservative first 2 weeks. Next week we're going to get at 3s minimum.
So I'm £27 up this week. £27 up for the season. It's a long way for you.
Yeah,
it's a long way for you.
How many games? 34 games left.
We've got plenty of weekend trebles to go. So yeah,
and if you keep backing United, it's going to get you at some point.
United have cost me once and got me one, so we're level playing field.
Yeah, 0-0.
Should we do a preview for the upcoming games?
Yeah, we've got...
So by the time that you guys are watching this, we would have just played 20.
20, yeah.
I think we should go and beat them. I saw Ten Hag's interview saying you don't want to hurt the things you love and things like that, because obviously he's a former 20 player. I think we should be winning that. Good time to get some players some minutes as well.
I think so too.
And get Højlund hopefully starting and get a full 90 minutes.
Because he struggled when he came
60
on,
or 70.
heavy touches. Yeah, I think so. Amas, I'd like to see it left back as well. Collier in the middle.
Yeah.
They're not a terrible team,
Mason Mount hopefully back in the side.
They're top 4, I think, FC20. Obviously below PSV and Feyenoord and AZ. Mm-hmm. They're usually solid teams up there. But again, it'll be a nice... See where we are. Young players.
Go there. And ease to a victory would be nice. I think that would give us a good amount of confidence. And then obviously Tottenham at the weekend.
At home, I'm confident at home.
You're really fancying us.
I really do. I really, really do. You're not confident? Our back four is solid. I think if we
how do we get at Tottenham? How do you envisage us getting at Tottenham? How are we scoring against
pace?
You're going
up against Romero. If they play Van der Ven, I don't know if it would be. Let's hope to God he's not there.
Van der Ven will play.
You've got to get at Romero. You've got to be an arsehole. You're going for a corner, pinch him. You've got to push him. You've got to piss him off.
We don't have enough bite in this side. The only player who's got a little bit about them might be occasionally Garnacho when he loses his head, but you need to really get under Romero's skin. You need
a Hannibal, don't you?
Play the players. Play the players on the pitch.
You've got Ndogi. He's a banker for a card. Always gets carded, so I'll be at him. Probably got one of the best left backs in the league in Pedro. I think he's quality.
Right backs.
He's a chomp. He's got one.
Damn it. I was doing that to help you out as well. I thought you don't want to look silly.
No, Pedro is one of the best. I think best attacking defenders in the league. Yeah, and I like Ndogi as well. Ndogi's solid, but again, banker for a yellow card. If you can get him early, Rashford.
The thing that will undo us, it'll be the midfield battle. And I think if you have Basuma, Maddison or Pat Matassar or whoever they end up playing, they've been playing Bergvall obviously in the cup. I don't know who they're going to play, but I think that midfield battle is crucial. It will depend on who takes their chances and if United are willing to take their chances.
Well, they've got a number 9. We don't.
Yeah, and they've got players who can finish. Son can finish. Brennan Johnson's going through a vein of form. So
of course he is. Just before he plays United.
Yeah, just before he plays United. I don't know. I'm not as confident as you. I think it'll be a draw. I think it'll be 1 or 2.
I think it's going to be 3-1.
Wow,
no, that's weird. I don't know. We'll see. Maybe that'll go in the weekend treble.
Yeah.
Right? I think that's us setting it.
Should we wrap up?
Yeah. Thank you for listening.
And where are we going to be?
Here every Thursday.
Until the rest of the season?
Until the rest of the season.
Where can they follow you?
On Vince Goldpost.
Honestly, this is Vince's podcast, and I've got to hold his hand the whole way through. Where can they find you?
Vince Goldpost.
Vince Goldpost on TikTok?
Yeah.
On Twitter?
And that's about as far as it goes.
And you are going to do an Instagram so people can see pictures of your face as well? Yeah, you don't want to see that. All the best bits will be on your TikTok there this week.
TikTok's where we get all the clips.
Yeah, cool. If you haven't already like this video. If you haven't already subscribe to this channel. And if you want to rate us on Spotify, 5 stars is really, really helpful for us as well. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
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 Bye. All right. All right.
Because the cold for crumbling empire.